Okay. What it do, y'all? It's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of our Repent or Die podcast. For those that don't know who I am, I'm Junes the original for the bond tools by blood, not by converge. You know we out here to splurge with the word. We to give all praise and glory to our heavenly parents for they are worthy to be praised. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to all those that's been tuning in, all those that's been subscribing, all those that's been following, sharing, commenting, doing the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? Raising this platform from where it's at before to where it's at now. All of this would not be done if it wasn't for you guys. So round of applause for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And today it's a beautiful day. It's late, early Monday morning, kind of chilly. As you can see, I'm rubbing my hands together. Yo, you know what I'm saying? It's it's about that time, man. We getting close to them winter days. You feel me? That's like the worst part of the year for me. You know what I'm saying? I was born in the winter, but hey, I was born in the winter according to here, but according to the Holy Land, I was born in the summertime. You feel me? But we're gonna have a good one today. But before I do, wanted to let you guys know I had a beautiful December conversation. That conversation was Sirach, the continuation of the book of Sirach. I did 3 on the 7th day, and I did a special one, the 4th, part 4, the installment. And that one was cool. You understand? And just wanted to give back to the people, you know what I'm saying? The 7th day, you know what I'm saying? I was overtaken by the spirit, if you like to say. And, I just had to just emphasize on the lies and the plagiarism that these people have done within our word. And shout out to the brother. He asked, well, should we not be reading the Bible no more? And I said, nah, we still gotta read it, right? But you gotta read it with an eye now. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still a lot of information. And, we could prove all of these things and where it's taking place according to the word. You feel me? So, tune in, man. Watch it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be very informed. And in this incoming December, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have something put together. You know what I mean? When, like I say in my December conversations, that I only operate and do the things that's given to me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like something will come across my table, and I will be hit with, yeah, you gotta talk about that. So that's how I usually do it, right? Nothing is, planned. Everything is just on the go. Like, yep, there you go, do that. Yeah, do this. And I just do it, right? But that's neither here nor there, right? We gotta talk about the hood news, the hood temperature. The temperature right now in the hood is still shady, still grimy. Mind them still wildin'. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sunshine where we from. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine where we from, 'cause when we from, homie, you will be gone every time, 'cause the streets don't play. Ain't no sunshine out here. And to show you that there's no sunshine, a 5-year-old twin killed his 5-year-old brother, stabbing him to death because they was fighting. Yes, out in California. I know it sounds crazy, but that joint is for real, right? That's in California. I'm going to give you something in New York. You hear me? A man, 52 years old, shot dead his wife, right? Then turn around and shot his son in the face. You hear me? You hear me? I don't think you heard what I just said. A 52-year-old man here in East New York shot his wife dead and turned around and shot his son in the face, and his son is in critical condition. I don't know if he survived. I don't know if he died. I mean, I don't know if he died, but from when I read it on the news feed, the homie was in critical condition. 26 years old, man. Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. The times that we living in. And even out in the Caribbean, right? There was this boat that literally sunk. Cruise ship, just sunk. Oh, you see people being rescued, lifeboats on. I think like 2 people died, 3 people, over 100 people injured. Yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I try to tell you guys that we on borrowed time, and it's very important that we get ourselves and our priorities together, because if you don't have it together and you was to die, depending on the life that you was living, you may suffer forever. And that suffering is what we try to avoid. And that's the reason for this podcast, right? Repent or die, right? Change your ways or you're going to die. And a lot of us is dying because of our wicked, sinister ways, right? There's a lot of things that we do as people, you understand, that's unacceptable from the holies of holies. It's unacceptable, okay? Eating crab, shrimp, lobster is unacceptable. It's an abomination. And he's going to penalize those that do these things. And you can read that in Ecclesiastes, I think it's 15 and 20, right? It's unacceptable. Anything that's an abomination is unacceptable. So if you read the book of Leviticus, whatever, Leviticus 11 or Leviticus 18, anything that he tells you is an abomination upon you, meaning it's unacceptable, right? Unacceptable. But that's neither here nor there, man. Just tune in for December conversation. Tune in for the weekly lives. You know what I'm saying? When I do the biblical, spiritual talk, because we need spiritual healing. And I'm the brother, man. You know, they're about to call me Marvin Jones. You heard me? When I get that feeling, is that spiritual healing. Spiritual healing. That's me. You heard? Right? Marvin Jones. Word. But on today's topic, man, it's titled, Our Parents Was Never Around. And that's the reason why the streets raised us. The streets raised us because our parents wasn't around. And when you look up today, because our parents is not around, TV is raising us. See, the generation of now compared to the generation of then is, back then, our influence came from what we saw outside, right? Being involved, engaged with outside members, right? Good or bad. But outside was where we got our peace. Outside was our way of escaping what we know now as poverty, because I didn't know what poverty was. I didn't know we were struggling. I thought it was just an everyday thing of being just black people, right? I didn't know that, eating one meal for the day was literally a struggle, even though we supposed to be having one meal a day. But I didn't know. I didn't know eating honey buns, you know what I'm saying, sharing that with my little brother, or a slice of pizza and cutting it down the middle, and he take a piece, I take a piece, and that's our dinner. I didn't know that was a struggle. I thought that was just everyday life. Why? Because when I was doing it, my mans was doing it, you know what I'm saying, my homegirl was doing it, we was all doing it. So we thought I thought that was just life. I didn't know it was a struggle. You feel me? But the streets was raising us. You know what I'm saying? We was outside, we was playing sports. That's why the sports players then, it was more passion then than it is now. Now it's all about money. You know what I'm saying? Playing sports for us back then, it was like literally loving to play sports. And the fact that, people used to look up and seek us like, yo, man, we would really love for you to play such and such. When the money started coming in, that's when things started getting watered down. And that's similar to everything that you see now, right? But we was just outside. You feel me? We was outside. So our mothers and our parents really didn't have the time to raise us the way that, people was raised in the 50s and in the 60s, right? Where you really had to really bust your ass and grind. You know what I'm saying? My moms and my pops are immigrants. You know what I'm saying? They came here in the mid-late 20s, and literally went straight to work. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't playing no games. They had a mission, especially my mom. She had a mission. The mission was like, yo, come in here. I'm gonna make the best of it. You feel me? She bust up behind, went to school, and did what she had to do to put a roof over our heads. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine 2 immigrants coming here, you know what I'm saying, not even 2-3 years in, already bought a house. You feel me? And they did the necessary things to make sure that, the children was in good standings. But yeah, we was outside. You know what I'm saying? We was always outside, right? It was to the point where we was outside so much where the parents was like, yo, y'all not gonna stay inside for the day? Like, we was like, no. And it didn't matter the weather. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was outside when it was snowing. We was outside when it was hot. We was outside when it was raining. We was outside when it was hail falling from the skies. We was always outside, right? The streets was raising us. And the parents understood that, because the real parents, the ones like my mom and my pops, they was on the grind. They was never home, right? They was never home. And especially for me, when my father died, because he died when I was young, you know what I'm saying? My mom had to take on that burden. So we never seen my mom. Like me, I ain't seen my mom at all. You know what I mean? And when my moms came home, we was asleep. And when we was up, she was asleep. And when we left to go outside, go to school or whatnot, she was home. By the time we came back, she was gone. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about back in the day, we talking about early 90s where there was no work rules. You know what I'm saying? There was no wage laws and none of that. Like, people who really work, you really can work 2 days, 2-3 days, and never leave your job. Just brush your teeth and you still on the job. Take a nap. And that was my mom. My mom was on her P's and Q's and started going to school and doing et cetera, et cetera. But that's not, that's a whole topic in itself. You know what I mean? Maybe one day for one of these days, you know what I'm saying, I'll probably bring forth and speak and give the flowers to my mother, because she deserves that. You feel me? She just coming back from a vacation. But anyway, yeah, we was outside. The streets was raising us, and that's the reason why we the way that we are. You know what I mean? But when you look at today's generation, they're not being raised from outside. Everything is being raised from the television, from these devices. These devices is what's raising our children. You understand? My daughter, she comes home, it's like, all right, Dad, I spent 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes with you, but then, you know what I'm saying, I want to go do my own thing. My daughter likes them YouTube, them YouTube skits, you know what I'm saying? She likes those type of things. You know what I mean? Playing with nail products, you know what I'm saying? My son, on the other hand, he's a content creator, so he's into his games and he's this and that, where we, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have that luxury of playing games all day. I mean, we play now. I play the games now. Yes, as grown as I am, I like to sit back, especially when I'm stressed out. I like to sit back, pull out a controller, and play. You know what I mean? And like I tell the woman, would you rather your man home playing the game or out in the streets playing the game? Which one? You gotta pick and choose, right? I think it would be better for you to have your mans in the house playing the game than going outside playing the game and being the head leader of this campaign. You know what I mean? Especially if he's a good looking man. You feel me? But that's neither here nor there. You know, the streets was the streets is our parents, for real. The streets is our parents. You know what I mean? The streets was our parents. We was indulging to a lot of things, good and bad. You understand? And things went wrong, right? When these laws started coming into play, when we lost our control of our community and we allowed these people to bring these police officers who was harassing. Yes, we was dealing with a lot of harassment growing up. You know what I mean? I know the difference. You know what I'm saying? I know how it was in the 90s, how it was in the 2000s, and when the shift for the community made a massive change, and it wasn't for the good. You feel me? It wasn't for the good. When black people started being invested into politics, being invested into unity with America, joining the alliance, all of that stems from 9/11, joining the alliance. And even though 9/11 was forced upon us, yes, it was forced upon us, because I remember when it happened, right? All of the smoke in the air, everything collapsing and all that. We was chilling in the hood, right? I'm talking about it was chilling. Everybody was still doing they do, having conversation, talking about it, laughing about it. You know what I'm saying? Man, there's a bomb, but cloud man don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like people didn't really care. They had to force it upon us. Every time you try to watch a basketball game, imagine you trying to watch the Knicks and they pause the Knicks and they got an anthem, and then they bring in the survivors, and then they bring in pieces from the debris of the towers and all that. And you start feeling sympathetic, like, oh my gosh, yes, God bless America. Right? The fathers that we did in the hood when we went to the Habibis, like, yo, son, this is what y'all doing? This is what y'all did? And the Habibis like, yo, man, we ain't do none of that, man. Don't listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that being told to us, like, yo, don't listen to that. You've been around me for years. You think that we don't do things like that. That is a lie. I'm fast forward today finding out that it was a lie. You know what I'm saying? But that's when things changed. That's when that shift took place, right? And you see the fruits of it, right? Where you like now, today's generation don't know what's left from right, up from down. You know what I'm saying? I watched a video where, these children, they didn't even know who DMX was. DMX? And these are people from New York being asked this. DMX? You don't know who DMX is? You don't know who Babyface is? You don't know who Whitney Houston is? Nah, that is a massive problem, people. That is a massive genocidal problem, people, that we do not know these individuals. We don't know. But then when the brother played the drill music, trash, little homie knew every word. I'm hot. Shorty the thought. I'm gonna be making it hot. I'm like, oh, jeez, wow, yo, we're gone. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? We're living in times now where everything is fast. You know what I'm saying? And our generation is not being prepped of old. You know what I'm saying? Everything is fresh. It got to be fresh, new, and quick. Fresh, new, and quick. It can't even be settled down. No subtlety. You know what I'm saying? And even when you see the way these children speak, they speak in a how can I say this? In a I'm trying to find the right word. But they just speak in a very anticipated way. They just can't sit still. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see these children nowadays, they look like they suffering from ADHD. Facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you all right, like, yo, chill, relax, calm down. It's like they can't stay calm. Everything is on the fast. You know what I'm saying? Even when way that they talk, you know, the rap, the talk, everything. There's a lingo. Everything is fast. There's no subtlety. There's no calm. You know what I mean? And there's no balance. And there's, like I said, there's plenty of reasons behind that, right? But the reason for us why, you know what I'm saying, the streets was raising us, because our parents was around. You know what I mean? Fathers wasn't around, so, you know, our mothers, you know, we was outside. The streets became our parents. The streets became our parents, and the streets, as big as it is, the streets is not our parents. You know, the streets is not a good parent, I should say. Because when you indulge into the streets, you see the streets for what it is, right? A lot of you guys see the streets when the sun is out. It's beautiful, like, get it. But when it gets dark, it's really dark. It really is. You really see the other side, right? You see the evilness. You see the wickedness, right? You see the prostitutes come out at night. Then you won't see them during the day. You know what I mean? They coming out at night. They walking by the schoolyards. They outside. You feel me? The drug dealers, they outside. The crackheads, they outside. The violence, the robbers, you know what I'm saying? The killers, you know, they outside. You feel me? And that was how, you know, for me, I think that's one of the major reasons to why the hood is the way it is now. Is the fact that the streets was what was raising us, right? We didn't need to watch Boys in the Hood to know what was going on in the hood. Boys in the Hood was inspired from the things that was seen in the street. You know what I'm saying? It was inspired by the things it's seen in the streets. A lot of things was overfabricated, which leads to a lot of violence that you see now. But the concept came from what was seen and viewed in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Gang people don't even understand what gangs was for. Gangs was a street organization designed to protect the community from the evil of the streets. And when we saying the evil of the streets, we talking about the government, the police, etc. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther movement was against that. Crips was against that. You know what I mean? I don't know too much about the Bloods, but I know the Crips, you know what I'm saying, was against the was against the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Crip was created, but it was a Boy Scouts. Crip was a organization that was supposed to be a Boy Scout for black people, because back in those days, Boy Scouts wasn't accepted, you know, through segregation and all that. So Crips came about. Then it turned from being a Boy Scout to really fixing the organization. Where things went wrong is when we allowed these heathens to make us fall for the bait. And we fell for the bait. You feel me? We fell for the bait, which is your drugs, your cocaine, your prostitution, etc. You know what I'm saying? And it overtook our community. And the community has never recovered since. Right? Where you see a lot of these children, you know, a lot of these children are offsprings of crackheads, you know, especially my generation. I'm an 80s baby, right? So you get the crack epidemic in the 80s, children that was being born, you know what I'm saying? You know, it was wild times. And like I said, I'm gonna do a whole breakdown, chronological takedown on the black man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start it from slavery all the way to 2023, right? I'm gonna do that. Maybe I'll do that for the Luciferian New Year, right? To show brothers and sisters where we at, how did we get here? You know what I mean? Because I see it. You know what I mean? I did my studies. I put the pieces together. And then when you look deep, you'll see that all of this was a chronological takedown of the black people, of the black and brown people. Chronological. Premeditated, pre-planned, well executed to where we at now, where we're defenseless. And they got us to the point where we're physically not in chains, but that mental slavery, that mental enslavement, is at an all-time high. And we still can get out of it. And I could blame a lot of things. Just remember when I say this. Listen to what I say this. Religion and slavery go hand in hand. One hand washes the other. You can't have one without the other. I'm gonna leave it as that, right? But the streets is what raised us, man. We was outside with it, you know, and the streets wasn't a good parent to us, you know. The streets got us involved into a lot of things. The streets got us involved. Mothers came home to receive phone calls while at work saying, oh yeah, your son is in jail, or your son has been gunned down, or your daughter was molested, or your daughter was raped, or your daughter, you know what I'm saying? And even for the females, you know what I mean? The females back in the days was inside. We're living in a generation now where it's the men that want to be inside and the females is outside. Them girls is outside all day, all night. It doesn't even matter the time. I see girls walking down the block 2 o'clock in the morning by themselves. I'm like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? I remember growing up, girls used to be inside the house by 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, shorty's in the crib, not trying to hear none of that. Now, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, women going home by themselves, coming from a party, women leaving their house to go to somebody else's house to lay down with them. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of things that is just out of wax. And people is getting penalized for it. Women is being penalized for it. The men is being penalized for it. The whole community is being penalized for it, right? It's here. I ain't lying. Tell me if I'm lying. Where am I lying? You feel me? And for us, you know, being raised in the streets, yeah, it just wasn't good. Wasn't good for us, you know. I remember, you know, the streets had us late night bagging up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to B.O. You know what I mean? That's, you know, that's my right hand, and we used to be up late at night bagging up, picking up work, getting out the scale, bagging up, like, yo, this is yours, this is mine. Or, yo, I just got a crazy bunch. You know what I'm saying? Yo, come over here, come see what this is about. I remember one time I took B.O., went to my plug, and my plug had some foom, foom, foom. You understand? Some foom, foom, foom. And that jump was so potent that when we was bagging up, that jump was burning our eyes. Like, oh my geez, the heck is this? I'm bagging up like this, water, weed, and all that, right? And then the little scabs we left behind, be like, yo, man, roll that up. And I remember the first time, and I don't want to get off topic. I remember the first time we bagged that up, and we ruled, and we just hit that, yo. And I tell you, that jump was like the most craziest high I've ever experienced in my life. I was like, yo, it was to the point when we went driving. We was driving. I forgot where we went after that. I think B.O., I think he dipped off, and I went to go make a run. We went driving. Yo, when I tell you that jump opened up the road, yo, that jump was crazy. To this day, that probably was the most potent, realist blunt I have ever touched, consumed, absorbed in my life. Facts. But yeah, the streets is our parents, man. The streets raised us, and there's no fault to our parents. You know what I'm saying? The system did that. You know what I mean? The cost of living here in America is crazy. It's crazy. Like, you're going to put in 40 plus hours to survive. Going to. Unless you learning the dips and dabs and the laws. Like, there's people that's living, you know, scot-free because they know these laws. Remember, I played it in one of my previous episodes where the law is literally, yo, you know, X, you know, H17560 UC, this, that, where you're not supposed to be taxed. You're not supposed to be asked your social security. When you know these things, you literally get away scot-free. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people know that, but for us, we didn't know that. You know what I mean? So they deliberately created this hard work for minimum reward. That reward that we working hard for is to keep a roof over our heads. Like, I bust my behind, you know what I'm saying? And I be tired, you know what I mean? Tired, and then having to do other things, you know what I'm saying? As far as being a dad, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a full-time pops. I'm not even part-time. Like, I take my daughter to school. I do what I gotta do. Make sure I'm there to pick her up. You know what I'm saying? I was, before my mom was able to do that because my daughter's school was located by my mom's house. Now that my daughter's in middle school, you know what I mean? My mom says, my mom's an elderly woman. I'm not expecting my moms to be going over and beyond from one side of Brooklyn to the other side to go pick her up, but that's not her job. You feel me? So, I gotta do what I gotta do. Even though it slows me down, as far as making financial moves, but at the same time, I get it. You feel me? You gotta do it, because me being raised by the streets, I can't allow that for my daughter. I gotta be involved. We highly gotta be involved. And I might do another broadcast and title it "The Importance of Having a Man in the House." It's important to have a woman, right? It's important to have a woman, but the role of a woman is always gonna reach a cap. The role of a man, that's forever. You know what I'm saying? Because you forever gotta protect them. You forever gotta give wisdom. You forever, that's your offspring. Like I tell everybody, you can listen to whatever America tells you, but that child that comes out from any woman, that child is that man's offspring. Whether it's a girl, whether it's a boy, however that man is exactly how that girl or that boy is gonna be. When I see my son and I see his ways, I can't even get mad. I'm like, yo, that was me. I can't even get mad. That was me, When I see my daughter, I see how she acts. I'm like, I can't even get mad. That was me. Right? But the importance is having a male figure. Everybody that have a male in their life, the state of their trauma is very, very minimal. Those that did not have a father, and you look into their lives, they can tell you whatever. They'll be like, oh, nah, they care, but you can see by their actions, they're very traumatized. It's still traumatizing leftovers in their body, if that makes any sense, right? Because daddy wasn't around. My dad wasn't around. He died at a young age. I knew my dad. I knew how my dad died. You know what I'm saying? My dad was he was a casualty of war. So him passing, right? My trauma wasn't like the average black person's trauma, right? No dad, you know what I'm saying? Or they knew they dad, but they dad didn't give a damn. So, you know what I mean? They didn't have, it was that. Nah, mine was Pop's dad, understand why he died, put anger, and made me the man that you see today, Mr. Keep my foot on these heroes and hedonite snacks. You feel me? So, very important, right? And I know I'm all over the place, but I want people to understand that the streets is what's raising us. The streets is what raised my generation. These entertainment, these devices, these social medias are what's raising today's children, right? Today's children is being raised by technology, and it's not a good thing because it's teaching these children to be sit put, right? Sit put, not sit still. You sit put right here, sit them right here. And we here. These children is here. Children don't want to go outside. Children rather be playing video games. And you be like, yo, let's go play some basketball. Oh, no. Where us is like, yo, come play video games. Man, I ain't trying to play that, man. Let's go outside, man. Let's go see these girls, bro. Yeah, we outside. You know what I mean? Like my crib growing up, my house was the house for the video games, right? Like we finished having a long day outside. We come home, we want to eat. We still want to keep the party rocking. So, yo, we going to June's crib. They come to my crib. We out here playing games for like 3-4 hours. You know what I'm saying? So we go from school was from 8 to 3, right? From 3 to 5, we're playing sports. 3 to 5, 3 to 6, sometimes 3 to 7, we playing sports. We outside, right? From that to like 10, 11 o'clock, playing games, right? Or sometimes we would skip the park, skip playing, unless we was out there, dealing with the females. Like, yo, baby girl, what you going? Oh, we want to go get some ice cream. And we go with them. We go get the ice cream. We go get the Italian ices, and they're eating the pizza. Like I said, we splitting it. We chilling. We having a good time. And you know what I mean? Like, we used to walk our girls home. You know what I mean? Like, yo, where you at? Yo, boom, boom, boom. Take the train. Take the bus. You know what I'm saying? Take her all the way to the other side of Brooklyn. You be like, damn, you live over here? And you go to school all the way over here? Like, yeah. All right. Take them home. And then, we ain't have cell phones. So it's like, all right, yo, bro, I'm going to make this run. Yo, I'm going to meet you at such and such, right? So then from there, we going to meet at such and such. And then that was our everyday lives. You know what I'm saying? It was always outside. But today's children, oh, no. Children will literally leave school and rush to come home, watch TV. You know what I'm saying? It was the girls that used to run home and watch TV. That's why Bow Wow was the #1 artist, because it was the girls coming home calling 106 in Park and requesting that and all that. I mean, we wasn't doing all of that. We watched a little Rap City, Rap in the Basement. That's it. But other than that, we wasn't doing all that. You feel me? But the streets raised us, man. You know what I'm saying? Our attitudes and how we are and how we perceive things, whether it's negative or positive, it comes from the streets. You know what I'm saying? The streets, you gain your wisdom, experience of life is through the streets. But depending on what experience you was indulged in, depending on how you internalize this experience, it could be detrimental. And a lot of times it has become detrimental. You know what I'm saying? It had become very detrimental to us. And the children that we're bringing forth children from the mentality or the production of being from the streets. And the streets is 1,000. You feel me? 1,000. And you see the product, man. So, I say all of that to say this, like, we ain't never gonna be able to take somebody away from the streets, right? You always gotta go outside. We ain't never gonna be able to do so. But as parents, it's very important that we, you gotta invest your time into your children. Joke with them, laugh with them, ask them what's going on. You know what I'm saying? When things is off, right? As a parent, we can feel when things is off. Check that offness. Like, yo, what's going on? Yo, what's up with your energy? What's up with that? Like, you're not as happy as you was. What's going on? Right? Sometimes your child may be mad at you and you need to find out why. You know what I mean? I asked my daughter, like, what's up with you? What's good? I sit down with my son, like, yo, what's up with you? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta communicate. And I feel like us as parents, we lack that communication because we was raised with this notion, I'm the parent, you're the child, what I say is what it goes. Yes, granted, but don't forget that child is you, right? That child gotta grow up, right? And you wanna kill the lack of communication, because that's gonna be a skill your child is gonna retrieve and take it upon their children. Your grandchildren is gonna be taught the same thing you was doing to your children. They're gonna do it to theirs, right? And then when your grandparents or when your grandbabies come to you and say, "Grandma, granddad," and then you try to confront the parent about it, they're gonna say things like, "Well, you wasn't there to talk to me. Well, I want to know what I did wrong." So communication is very important. Making sure that you get a check-in with your child. You gotta check in. Make sure everything is good. Yo, what's going on in school? Oh yeah, no. You sure? Yeah, You sure? Tell me the truth, right? They get mad at you. You discipline them. You beat them. you would do whatever, right? You then sit down and let them know, like, look, what you did was unacceptable, right? Would not be tolerated, right? You, as my child, you should know better, right? I'm raising you to be such and such, right? Put your child in a space of self-evaluation, reflecting, like, yo, you gotta see what you're doing was wrong. Like, look at what you're doing. Like, that's not right. That's not cool, right? You gotta do these things. Communication with children is very important, especially when they're at a young age, right? The word said, train up a child from young, so when they get old, they won't depart, right? And when you don't do that, right, and you don't teach these children these things from now, when they get older, you're going to get what you get now, where everybody's in this self-entitlement. Everybody's in the space of the defense. Like, the defense windows for our people is so bad, right, where you can tell somebody something and they will instantly get on the defense and try to ricochet something or create something out of something and say, this is the reason why this and that, other than staying focused on the task and saying, look, man, you know what I mean? Like, look, and that's because of the lack of communication these children had growing up. We got to teach our children self-evaluation, holding ourselves accountable. You must hold yourself accountable. You can't just discipline a child and send them to their room and then expect that child to figure out what they did wrong. Yes, they're going to know the surface of the problem, but we also got to figure out, like, what was going on in your mind that made you do that, right? See, those are the things, that's the extra step that we as parents got to go through and figure out, like, what caused you to do that? What was on your mind? Oh, Dad, yo, I seen something on TV. Oh, I'm just angry. You, Mommy, always arguing, and you and Dad is always fighting, and this, that. Like, children get affected behind that. And when you give them an explanation and you make them understand, right, they're going to be able to internalize that, right? They're going to internalize it, and they're going to have more clarity, so their decision making is going to be more clear than clogged. Let that marinate into your brain. You understand? So these are the things that we have to do, okay? I'm not going to make this a long one. This is just a short one, letting people know that the streets is what raised us. You know what I mean? The streets was our parents. No punches, or no pun intended, to our actual parents, but we know why. You know what I'm saying? We know the circumstances. We know what the system is doing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our parents fell for the bait. You know, a lot of our parents became drug addicts, alcoholics, you know what I'm saying, pimps and hoes. You know what I mean? I understand that. You know what I mean? But as parents, now I'm speaking as a parent perspective, that's not an excuse to not be there in your child's lives, right? We have to be there. It's necessary, it's needed, you understand? And if we don't give ourselves up to our children, then the streets is going to eat them alive. And as you can see, the streets is doing a very good job in eating our children alive, right? Television, these devices is doing a great job in eating our children alive. Go outside, people. Everybody's on the same frequency. The males got their own frequency. The females got their own frequency. The parents got their own frequency. It's just chaotic. And there's no community without unity. And because we're not unified is the reason why we're dealing with the mental, physical, and spiritual genocide. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. I came to you guys live. If you don't know who I am, I'm Mr. Keep My Foot on you heathens, you he-goes, and the newly installed Heathenites next. But continue to support the movement. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You understand? This is the rise of the Bantus. Or let me say that the rise of the Bantus would not be televised, but I was authorized, me, by the Most High to tell you guys, are you dumb or are you dumb? Father, say it one time for the one time. Are you dumb? And I'ma holler at y'all.